For over a century, the land of Palestine and Israel has been the center focus of one of the most crucial and deeply rooted conflicts in modern history. What began as competing for national movements has turned into an ongoing struggle that led to wars, displacement, and suffering on both Palestine and Israeli ends. It is a conflict filled with pain, history, and political challenges that have yet to be resolved. I chose to speak on this topic because I believe in world peace. However, peace cannot be achieved without understanding. Misinformation and bias fuel division, making it harder to have productive conversations. Today, I will present a factual and neutral overview of the Israel-Palestine conflict by exploring 1. The historical background, 2. The humanitarian impact on both sides, and 3. The efforts towards peace and possible solutions. As we dive into step 1, talking about the historical background, the land historically known as Palestine has been home to various groups such as Jews and Arabs for centuries. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, tension grew as Jewish immigration started to rise due to the Zionist movement, which sought to establish Jewish homeland, especially in response to rising in anti-Semitism in Europe. After World War I, Britain took control of Palestine under the League of Nations mandate. Jewish immigration continued and leading to more conflicts between the Jewish and Arab communities. In 1947, the United Nations proposed a partition plan which aimed to divide the land into separate Jewish and Arab states with Jerusalem as an international city. Jewish leaders accepted the plan because it provided international recognition of a Jewish state. However, Arab leaders rejected it, seeing it as unfair because the Jewish was a minority at the time and they was allowed more land. They also feared displacement and loss of sovereignty. Following the 1948 war, Israel declared independence and expanded its borders beyond what the United Nations had proposed. Over 700,000 Palestinians were displaced in what is known as Nakba, or catastrophe, in becoming refugees. Meanwhile, Jewish communities in Arab nations also faced persecution and were forced to flee to Israel. Since then, wars, uprisings, and occupation have continued with ongoing disputes over land, borders, and national identity. The next step we're going to be diving into is the humanitarian impact, which the conflict has led to immense suffering for both Palestinians and Israelis. For Palestinians, particularly in the West Gaza Bank, life has been marked by displacement restrictions and military occupation. Gaza is under a blockade which limits the food supplies, access to water, and medical supplies. In West Bank, Israeli settlements continue to expand, leading to further tensions. Many Palestinians face daily struggles due to restricted movement, economic hardships, and military presence. For Israelis, security remains a major concern. Rocket attacks, suicide bombings, and violent conflicts have killed many civilians. Many Israelis live in fear of attacks from militant groups, and mandatory military service is seen as necessary for national defense. On both sides, children grow up knowing only conflict, and generations have been shaped by fear and violence. The human cost of the conflict is immense, making peace efforts all the more urgent. The next top point we're going to is efforts towards peace and possible solutions. Over the years, there have been multiple attempts at peace. You have the Oslo Accords, which lasted from 1993 to 1995, were a major effort to establish Palestinian self-rule and a path towards peaceful resolution. However, continued violence, leadership changes, unresolved dispute over borders have stalled progress. Two solutions have been debated, one being the two-state solution. What this creates an independent Palestinian state and an independent Israel state. However, changes such as Israeli statements and Palestinian leadership divisions and security concerns make it difficult to implement. Another solution is the one-state solution. This will bring both Israel and Palestine to one state, one democratic state. However, there's different ethnics, religions, and political difference makes it a controversial idea. In conclusion, the Palestine-Israel conflict is not simply over land. It's a struggle over history, identity, and survival. Both Israelis and Palestinians have suffered greatly, and peace remains elusive. However, understanding the conflict is the first step toward finding solutions. I chose this topic because world peace cannot happen without addressing conflicts like this one. If we want a better future, we must prove and move beyond taking sides instead of focus on the truth, empathy, and peaceful resolutions.